guys, it's Basma and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about how I make $400 to $500 every month teaching English with Cambly. So if you want to see more videos like this, hit that like and subscribe button down below and let's get right into the video. So the reason that I even looked into Cambly was because I was looking to have a job online since I was moving to another country. And I was looking for something that would be super flexible in terms of schedule, not having to report to anyone, and have a job that didn't require so much prep work. So I wanted something relatively easy that I could do that would bring in some extra income during the month for whatever it is that I wanted to do that month. So today's video is going to be focused solely on how to apply and some pointers when actually applying, and just generally some things that I like about Cambly compared to other companies out there. Right off the bat, some of the benefits of teaching with Cambly is the fact that they do not require a degree and you don't need any certification. So I did have my certification when I did apply just because I was working with 2 other ESL companies prior to working with Cambly, but you don't need it at all. However, I'll still leave the link down below in the description box in case you're considering getting TESOL certificate. Then you can check out that link. It's super affordable and very quick to get it done. I got it done within a day. Next, another major benefit is that you don't have to commit to a certain amount of weekly hours, which is a huge difference in comparison to other teaching English as a second language companies, just because they might require you to commit to a certain number of hours during the week, or they'll require that you work during a certain period of time during the day, which are called their peak hours. Now, Cambly does not have that since it's open to everyone around the globe. There are time slots 24 hours a day that you can book in order to teach. So that's super cool that you don't have to commit and that you could cancel in case something comes up. That gives you a ton of flexibility, especially if you're in uncertain times right now or you're working another job, then this can really come in handy. Another benefit that was huge for me in comparison to the other ESL companies that I was working with is the fact that they pay weekly. Yes, their pay is going to be lower in comparison to other ESL companies, but the fact that they pay weekly is life-changing. In case something comes up, you can always work extra hours during the week. Now, Cambly does pay per minute, so it's 17 cents USD per minute, and it's $10.20 USD per hour. You are going to be paid every Monday like clockwork through PayPal. Another thing is that you don't need much. Like, I work through my computer and I have a headset. Besides that, I don't use any other equipment, so it keeps it super simple and easy to use. Those are some of the major benefits that attracted me to Cambly. Let's get into the application process because I'm sure that's mainly what you guys are all here for. Application process is also super quick and easy to use. The way it works is that you're gonna create an account first to start off. You can use your Gmail account, that's what I did, or you can also use your Facebook account or whatever other email that you might have. And then after that, you're gonna see as soon as the page opens up, it's gonna be a 3-step process where the first step is that they wanna test out your connection. This makes sense since you're gonna be working online, so they just wanna be checking that everything goes smoothly. This takes a couple of seconds and you're done with the first part of your application. The next part of your application is where you actually fill out your tutor profile. When setting up your tutor profile, this is where you're going to mention anything that's relevant to you, any other languages that you speak besides English, any certifications that you have. Again, this is not necessary, but if you have certifications, then just go ahead and plug them in right there. You're going to upload your resume. There's also a category where you can mention who you actually prefer to teach. So that's super cool. If you have a preference teaching adults or kids or teens, you can list it there. And then you're going to also mention maybe your past work experience and things like why you actually want to work with Cambly. Once you complete that, you've set up your tutor profile, and the last part to the application process is actually doing a video introduction, and they do provide you with a sample video introduction that you can use. It doesn't have to be long at all. Mine's a minute long, and I think roughly that's the average. So just doing a minute-long video where students can see your face, can see how you speak, can see your pace, could be really helpful to your profile. So that's the last part of the actual application process. So it's testing your connection, then setting up your tutor profile, and then doing the video introduction, and then that's it for the actual application process. Now, I do want to mention that in my case, it took 2 days to get a reply back from Cambly, and I was instantly able to start working right then and there. However, I have read through Glassdoor and Reddit and just through YouTube comments that some people has taken them longer or they haven't yet heard from them. So it does vary from person to person. But in my case, it was a very quick process and super smooth sailing, and I was able to work after the 2 days of submitting my application. I did say that I want to share some helpful tips, things that I did that were actually super helpful to me when it came to building a regular base of students. So the first thing that I definitely recommend is to mention any experience that's relevant to you. Even if you don't think that it's particularly tied to English, it could help to attract a particular group of students to you. At the beginning, you won't have a rating, so students are not going to be able to check out your rating, and they might check out your video introduction, but it won't stop there. They're also going to check out your profile. So being able to list everything that you've done that could potentially help you connect with the student, because what I've discovered, and this was purely by chance, is that students don't only want to be speaking English and learning English with someone that speaks English, but they also want to be able to communicate with someone that might have a similar background to them, seems super fascinating to them, that they could learn from, so that the person can actually understand what they're saying and they can connect with them on a deeper level. Some students are going to select you just based off of where you come from, especially if they prefer a certain accent. In my case, I have a bachelor's degree in engineering, so I listed that down, and some of my regular students, if not most, are all engineers. I also did a life coaching certification, and one of my regular students now that also found me is through my life coaching certification, because she's also becoming certified to be a life coach. So these are all things that can help you build your regular base of students. Now, my next tip for you is for the actual video introduction. I know I was super nervous about this. I didn't know what I was going to have to say, but you can always switch into your actual student profile. On the Cambly platform, you actually have two parts to your profile. There's the tutor side, and then there's the student side. If you go into the student side, you can actually search up all the tutors that are working with Cambly, and you could see their sample videos to get an idea what they're saying, what they're focusing on. Some of the things that I focused on is to mention that I have experience learning second language, so I know the challenges and the struggles that come along with that. That helps create a personal connection and an understanding with the student. Mention that you're very patient, that you're gonna work with the pace of the student, that you're gonna adapt your lessons depending on their level, and also speaking slowly so that you can tap into every potential level of students that might come your way. So whether they're beginner, intermediate, or advanced, they're going to be able to understand you. In my next video, I will go more into how to actually build your regular base of students, but don't worry about that when starting, because Cambly has what's called a priority hour system. So that means 24 hours a day, there's time slots that you can book. So no matter where you are, what your time zone is, you can find an hour that works for you, and you can book that hour. And what they're going to do is they're going to direct calls to you. Not every hour is going to be as busy as the next, so you might have waiting periods, but when I was starting off, I was either watching TV or doing other work in between waiting for the calls to come in. So you could still be super productive and make use of your time, and then you'll just pause whatever you're doing, take the call, and speak to the student for whatever amount of time taken with you. So say you're in your priority hour session and a student calls, and you can see their timer says 15 minutes. That means that you're going to be paid 15 minutes times 17 cents USD. The last part of this video, I want to talk a little bit about how my experience has been so far working with Cambly. I've been working with Cambly now for around 4 or 5 months. I currently do not work more than around 10 hours a week, but you can definitely do more if you want to. As I said before, priority hours are open to you 24 hours a day. And the cool thing about that is that sometimes if they don't have enough tutors available, you'll see a tag to the priority hour that'll say like either 15 or 30 on it. And that means that whether a student calls you or not, you will for sure be paid for 15 minutes or 30 minutes of your time on that priority hour. When I started out with priority hours, I was a bit worried since I was consistently reading reviews on Reddit and Glassdoor. You will have a lot of trial students, so students that are trying out Cambly for free, and this is 5-minute calls. You can automatically see if it's a 5-minute call, then it most likely is a trial student. These calls had me a bit nervous because people were sharing their experiences online. However, until now, I have not had any experience experience that has made me feel uncomfortable. If that does ever happen to you, which I hope not, but if it ever does, then you can automatically report the person. There's a big red button that you won't be able to miss, and you can leave the call as well. So that's always there for you in case that does happen. But so far in my experience, I have not had any situation that has left me feeling uncomfortable or not at ease. In fact, I've really enjoyed working with Cambly. I do specifically work with adults, and the fact that it's not structured conversation leaves it super interesting while also learning English, which makes the process so much more enjoyable. I don't feel like there's much or any preparation needed in advance, which is just great when you're starting out. It's quick to adapt to the platform. I don't dread working for Cambly. I don't leave stressed. I don't come to work stressed. With Cambly, I realized how easy it is to actually start making money online as soon as you are approved. I will do a part 2 for some of my helpful tips when it comes to starting tutoring with Cambly and also building your regular student base, because for some reason when I started out, I thought it was going to be this extremely difficult thing that I wouldn't be able to get done. I hope this video was helpful to you and has given you some inspiration. If you want to start working for Cambly, or if you want to start doing something online, then I definitely encourage it and support you, and hope this video has given you that motivation to just go for it. And if you have any other questions or things that I haven't addressed, then please leave that below in the comment box or email me. I'll always leave my email in the description box. I'll also leave all the links in order to apply to Cambly down below, and the teaching certificate that I've done also in the description box. Thank you so much for watching.